Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. On tonight's verses, we have Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey coming in at a 40% ABV, no age statement, versus Johnnie Walker Blended Scotch coming in at a 40% ABV, no age statement. So, this was a little bit of an interesting thing. So, I always look for video ideas, and I went to YouTube, and I said Jack Daniel's verses. This was one of the first results. And I'm very confused on why, maybe for budget reasons, people are curious. Nonetheless, it made me curious. So overall, we're going to compare notes, taste, and pricing. So let's get into it. Now, individual reviews for both of these will be linked up above and down below. So when those are live, you can enjoy those. And, Jack Daniel's is just that classic bottle that I don't know anybody that's never had a Jack and Coke kind of situation. So again, if you're new to whiskeys, you might be curious on this, and that's fine. Doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. But I am a Johnnie Walker fan. I have probably close to 12 different bottlings, if not more of them. And honestly, I don't mind Red Label. Being that it's budget and bottom shelf, I honestly don't mind it. And same thing with Jack Daniel's. While it's budget friendly, I don't mind Jack Daniel's either, especially neat. Let's take a look at color. Obviously, the Jack Daniel's is a bit darker, but honestly, it's not that, it's not a glaring, this is light, this is dark. There is very close color, but the Jack Daniel's is a bit darker. But let's go for notes. And see, here's where I love Jack Daniel's. I love the maple quality that comes across. It's a little sweet. The little bit of almost a minty quality going in there with the rye spices. It's very nice, very light and inviting. A little ABV, but it's not offensive. And almost like fresh baked bread. And that's one thing I do enjoy about it. Got almost a not quite malty, but just these rye spices remind you of a fresh baked loaf of bread. A lot of people get like banana and things like that, and I can kind of see what people say when they go, oh, it smells, I get a little bit of banana. Personally, I wouldn't specifically say that, but I think that's really cool that people pick it up. But Jack Daniel's has got those great classic notes to it, and it's one of those things that I love. It's maple. Okay, check out the Red Label. It's mustier than I remember. Yeah. So it's got this bit of grain musty note that happens sometimes in your blended scotches or younger whiskeys. It's got just a little bit of a pungent, wet, damp grain note to it. There's a little bit of a light smoky quality in there, and then this juicy citrus note going with it. So overall, you just get that grain mustiness at the beginning, bit of citrus, sweet, a little bit of vanilla, just a dash of that mintiness to it, and this little underlying of a smoke. Yeah, again, I don't remember it being as musty as it is. So, let's go for taste on the Jack Daniel's. Good classic flavors there. Right up front, you're getting that nice maple, a little bit of sweetness, that bit of oak. Bit of the apple, almost like red apple juiciness to it. And then at the end, you do get sometimes in there, you do get a little bit of a metallic, but it's not that pungent. A little bit of herbal. That rye herbal notes showing up just a little bit. I will say I do love the maple here. It's got this nice maple earthiness. And it's nice. It just gives you those classic feelings to it. It's good. Okay, let's go for the Johnnie Walker. Taste is so much better than the nose. It's not amazing. And here's the thing, and so many people give Red Label kind of a bad rap. Again, I don't mind it. It's not going to blow your pants off. Don't think that. Just because it's a blended scotch, especially if you're new to whiskey, doesn't mean much to it. Don't take that or the fancy looking bottle as buying privileges. But it's got a nice flavor to it. So you get a bit of that musty grain at the beginning, but then it goes sweet and juicy and citrus and a bit of smoky and a bit of earthy. That vanilla is showing up. The bit of oak is showing up. It's got a lot more going on for it than the Jack Daniels. I mean, it's not like it's like, wow, this is such an amazing drink. But it's got a little more character to it than the Jack Daniels. The thing that throws it off is right at the beginning when you get that grain mustiness. If you're not used to that, it's going to throw you off and you're going to instantly regret drinking it. Once you've acclimated to it and once you understand what's going to be there, this does, in my opinion, have more character than the Jack Daniels. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think that it's the better product, but the citrus, that earthiness, that little bit of smokiness to it really adds up here. And that bit of oak, it just really comes together to make a nice, simple sip. So let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price and it's always going to vary. And then we'll talk about what I think is the better choice here. Jack Daniels, I can usually find in my market for $18 to $24 to $25, sometimes as high as $27. The Red Label is kind of all over the place as well. I can find it as cheap as $18, but as high as about $27, $28 too. So in my market here in Indiana, they're on similar playing grounds. Now, more places have the Red Label as a more expensive bottle, but those same places tend to have Jack Daniels at a higher price. To be honest, it's really going to come down to what you're in the mood for. If you're looking for a Jack and Coke, obviously, the Johnnie here ain't going to cut the bill. This will get lost in a glass of Coke quicker than anything and may not taste the best. Here, you're living in beautiful territory. But if you want a highball or a scotch and soda, obviously, the Jack Daniels ain't going to beat it. That's what this is made for. It's made to be a mixer. On taste itself, honestly, if I'm going to pour one of these at night and I want something simple, it's going to be the Jack Daniels. I don't mind Red Label, however. Don't think that means I think this is garbage. I think Red Label has its place in the market, usually as a mixer, yet again. But on the taste, I don't mind it. The grain mustiness that you get is a little off-putting, especially if you're new to whiskey. But Jack Daniels, in my opinion, is just the winner when you shoot these two together. So yeah, there you have it. Jack Daniels, Old No. 7 versus Johnnie Walker Red Label. If you have any questions about either bottle, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any spirits I should put up against each other, also let me know down below. Doing these kind of verses is fun, and I get to learn a little bit as I go too. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.